It's the little things that can lead to massive shifts. Every small action, every kind word, and every tiny seed of an idea has the potential to grow into something extraordinary.
Yes, that is the truth, man. That's a big truth. Small things make a big difference. I am your host, Kazerny Bussy.
And I am your co-host, Empress Layla.
And you are now tuned in to the Popular Expressions podcast. And, we going to get right into it, man. I think that's real deep. A lot of times people, underestimate or even sometimes overlook the small things in life. But, it's a process to life. Everything, comes in due time, man. Like, how you feel about that?
I was feeling something right now. I'm not sure if I should bring it up. But since we are in the holiday seasons, we have many things to be grateful for, the small things. And listening to you speak, I was like, wow, the small things really count. And I was just thinking about this 2023, how, we all have challenges, but the small things that happened in the year were much bigger and greater than the challenges. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but I don't know, that's just what came to mind.
Yeah, I think so. Like the small things it's like a seed, like the image on an art they're looking at right now. They see the smaller crop in this bigger forest, and yeah, that small crop would eventually be one of them big trees. So like things grow with time. Like I said, it's always just a process, and it is the end of 2023. At this time of the recording, we are headed into 2024, which I think is going to be a very impactful year for, the global world at large. I think that we done came from such a far place. Like, things were small. Like back in like back in the day, they used to ride horses, right?
Well, they still do. As we saw, as we were in the city this weekend, they weren't riding horses, but the horses were actually pulling people. So we still use horses now.
See, horses not small at all. Horses they're actually huge. But to compare a horse to the engine of a vehicle now, or even like the engine in a jet, like some people would look at the horse like it's a small thing, but that horsepower that these vehicles is moving off of was kind of like inspired by like how the horses, it was inspired by the horses back in the day, the pulling power, the strength of that physical animal that helped people to travel from one place to another. We learned a lot from that natural process. And I think people look at the natural processes of life as the small, obsolete things. But those are things I think we should really be paying attention to,
Yeah, but somewhere around the world, them horses are still helping. So, hey for the horses.
Nah, big up to the horses,
Big
man.
up to the horses.
Yeah.
My zodiac sign is half human, half horse. So I have a passion for horses.
Really?
Yeah.
What zodiac is that?
That's Sagittarius.
Oh, you a Sag?
I'm a Sag.
Ah,
so
you're a Sag.
half human, half horse. That's, if you do, understand or believe in astrology, that's like a whole different topic that we may get into someday. But yeah, since you brought up the horses, I identify with them because, I'm a bit of a runner myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, horses are really strong, man.
Very strong and powerful.
Shout out to the Sagittariuses and
this is our season,
zodiacs. All the zodiacs out there. Could you guess my zodiac?
I couldn't guess your zodiac, but if I would speak to you for a little bit, they may be able to know your zodiac. So we're gonna hopefully let the people that are listening, maybe they'll try to guess it, and then we'll see if they get close, because you're really powerful. So hopefully they hear it in your voice.
Thank you. I do agree. I agree that I am, a powerful human being. Actually, y'all can put y'all little comment under the post here on the YouTube platform and tell me, make a guess of what you think my zodiac could be.
If you believe in zodiacs.
Yeah, even if you don't believe in zodiac,
right. You can come with a guess.
I still am, in the month of the zodiac that I am in.
Right.
And I would like to say that, when you think about the small things, just to give y'all a hint, there ain't nothing small about my zodiac. It's very big. But the process of a seed, right?
As small as a mustard seed, or just like a seed?
Yeah, and I think
anything as a mustard seed is very powerful.
Yeah, not to get too.
We always want to give the shine to the Creator. We're not here by ourselves. So.
No, I give all glory, to the Most High Creator, always and always. And I like to make it practical for the listener,
Right.
because a mustard seed is just one seed.
Right.
There's so many different seeds out here.
All we need is one. As small as a mustard seed.
There's seeds, there's human seeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when you do that whole process of like conception and baby making, like don't that start as a seed?
Well, it starts as you're going like way into this. And since this is a season of A King Was Born, we can get into that, but it's multiple. It's one seed, and there's multiple cells trying to get to that seed. We'll call it fertilizing.
That's interesting. So
it's only one seed, and that seed can multiply into multiple seed. It depends on how it's fertilized.
Okay.
Since we're talking about soil and fertilization and the plant that looks small, so it's all about your soil.
That's really cool. Like just to think of the whole concept of this one seed, but all of these cells of protein trying to reach that seed to fertilize it means that that every landing, which I say that every listener that's tapped in right now would be one of the landers, because they're here.
We're fertilizing them. We're fertilizing.
They had to fight to get to that one seed. Like the odds was really against them.
They didn't have to fight. Someone fought for them.
I mean, they still had to do their little, sperm cell fight reach, You don't think so?
They were destined to be there, and that cell was fighting to get to them.
Oh man, shout out to Destiny, man. We should we this is a great and wonderful time to be alive. Shout out to all the ones that's destined out here, man.
I don't know, someone may disagree with the way I see it, but I think that's the way I see it.
It makes a lot of sense. Like it makes a
because
whole
they say
lot of sense to me.
They say it takes a pin size of that protein you're talking about to multiply in millions.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of the millions, there's only one winner.
Winner. Oh, we winners out here.
Yeah, once you get to that, to help it blossom, as you have a plant and you water it every day, as you got it as a baby, and you watering it, you giving it sunlight, and you see it flourish. That's the beauty of the plant.
That's dope, man. The process. Back to the process. Back to the process of, just greatness. You know, the process of any level of success, man, took, you know, time, and that it never happened overnight. You know, it didn't happen. Rome wasn't built in a day. So, you know, it took for that watering, you know, that nurturing, that sunlight, that proper soil to make that small thing, you know, make
Pruning.
that big difference.
As they say, pruning.
Word.
Because sometimes you can have a plant and you may have a branch that's not good, and you have to just cut it off a little bit for it to regrow.
So you got to cut off that excess bullshit.
I would say unfruitful part.
I always say bullshit.
Okay.
You gotta sometimes you gotta cut off the bullshit from that.
I mean, it's absolutely necessary for that, you know. But that comes in time, because some people don't even see what you know, don't even see how you see, don't even know that's what it is.
And that's why we here to, you know what I mean, bring and shed some light to the whole situation. This is what this podcast is designed to do. Designed to, you know, just give a different perspective, you know, our personal expressions and, you know, viewing of the world. You know, we voice our visions because we all unique. So I might see it in a certain way.
As we go into the new year, we want to replant ourselves, rejuvenate ourselves, and we can be that plant, that little plant right now, and, you know, come to something different in a few months, because you have to let go to grow in a better way. The same way you get haircuts. You know, you got to cut your hair every 4 to 6 weeks so you can get new roots.
Word.
In your hair and make it grow more healthier. So it's like what we're doing ourselves. We're planting ourselves, and we're regrowing with the season, with the time, rejuvenating.
That's a good thing. I think about, you know, when I think about this whole topic of the small things, you know, going into this new year, which is gonna be, in my opinion, a really massive one, especially if popular expressions have anything to do with it. We gonna make it a real productive year. And we think about the young ones, the young people of the world. And when I say young, I'm going as far back as let's start at educate. Let's say pre-K. Could you remember any of your pre-K days?
No, you know, I can't remember any of my pre-K days. And what I can say is thank you to the people that really care about the children, because I do not have any recollection of it, but I can say I had to grow because I am who I am. So I want to say thank you to all the preschool, young education educators, because even though, you know, people don't say thank you to you, is really greatly appreciated if you really do it with passion. So kudos to you, and keep doing what you do, even though you do not hear it every day. As we grow up as adults, we do thank you.
That's a fact, man. Shout out to the educators out there. You know, a lot of times these small things grow up to be such a big, great thing, or to make such a big difference, is because of the leadership, you know, and guidance of, you know, the more experienced, you know, people that come before them.
Absolutely.
So, and also in a negative way. Like, if you negative, you can definitely you know, cultivate a real bad seed. Like, I remember this one time, I was younger, and I would take, you know, the bus to school. And
when you say younger, what age are we talking about?
You know what? I tried to stay away. I know I had to be around, let's say 7 or 8, and I would take the bus to school. And you know, at this time, I had these big bifocal glasses, and I'm on the bus, and a matron, this lady really did not like me for some reason. Like, I don't know why she didn't like me. Like, she would pick on me. This is the matron of the bus.
The matron of the bus.
Yeah, she would pick on me all the time and tell me that I was a four eyes. And
Really?
Yeah.
This is an adult?
this is a not only an adult, but a one that is in position
To protect the children.
to protect the children on this ride. You know,
Right.
she would put all of this negativity, or she tried to put the negativity in my head. And, you know, at the time, I was younger. I didn't really take it, you know, too bad, because I did have very loving parents. Shout out to the parents out there. But,
Loving
you know,
parents.
she could have been one of the reasons why I really...
Or who you are right now.
No, she could have been the reason why I could have been the person that was insecure. You know, she could have broke me down if I was weak, if I didn't have that guidance.
I don't think you're breakable.
Oh nah, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna break, but you know, for her to be in that position of, you know, leadership, of, you know, I would say power, man. You know, she really dropped the ball on that, even though she didn't really impact me. So many people that she could have probably impacted. And I would just like to tell, you know, anybody who's, you know, tapped in right now that, you know, sticks and stones may break your bones, but words will never hurt you. Words could hurt you, but if you know, recite that to yourself, and you know who you are, you know the power and strength that you possess, and you know what you was destined to be, then, you know, them opinions from them people out there really shouldn't matter, because, you know, it's really all just bullshit anyway, you know. And this is negative energy. Some people call it the devil, you know. Some people call it haters, you know. It'll be negativity. It comes in many different names and forms, but, you know, just to be able to be in power and to really know your power as a leader, we can really cultivate these young ones to do some really great things to make a big difference in this world. And I think, as, you know, the leaders of the new school, man, this is our position, and this is what we are positioning ourselves to do with the Popular Expression Podcast. We trying to give people the freedom to express their selves, their unique perspectives and views, and we're just, you know, trying to really bring the people out, you know.
As I'm listening to you speak, it kind of make me sad, because I don't know if I ever told you, my dad was a school bus driver.
Wow.
So my dad passed about 20 years ago, and before he left this earth, the last thing he did was to go prepare his bus for his children for the new school year to come, because he was very concerned about the kids. He was always for the kids. So for you to tell me a matron, that would never happen on my father's bus.
I hope it don't happen on no other buses, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me to listen to you speak, and I remember me and my dad used to have, you know, when you know your dad come home, you have how was your day, come home conversation, you know. They learn the value of moms, because the moms are always the ones that's running to stop the bus for the kids when the kids are running late, you know, because, you know, when the bus has to leave at a certain time to get everyone to school. So sometimes someone's late, and you see the mom running to catch the bus, so, you know, they child can get on. So yeah, so hearing you say that a matron can actually, you know, pick on the child.
Yeah.
It's
And the funny thing about it is, I wasn't one of them bad little baby kids. It is some little, you know, some bad children. I was actually one of the good kids. So I think for me, it was definitely a test and triumph of just my inner strength and, you know, my confidence. And, you know, I've passed that test, and I'm sure everybody here is going to pass, you know, regardless to, you know, what, you know, people might view you as or the way they may see you. You need to know that you are, you know, you're a champion, you're a warrior, and, you know, your beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, and that's just who you are. And you need to tell that to yourself, just in case nobody else tell you. You need to tell that to yourself. You know, when you think about just me growing up in the urban community as a youngin', you know, being a black man, you know, we came a long way. You know, we was viewed as lesser than once upon a time, you know, in our great grandmother's times, right? But we started from that little seed of, you know, being called, you know, slaves, to being some of the leaders of, you know, entertainment right now. Like, we started from that small, degrading place to now being, you know, some of the greatest people out here in the world to date right now. How do you feel about just that power? And I know I got a little deep, but, you know, we gotta take it there. We gotta be real with it. Humble beginnings.
I mean, it's definitely a blessing to be who I am. So yeah, it's a great thing, is, you know, to keep honoring who you are and keep growing. And as we talk about this this plant, don't forget to water yourselves. And you may be in an environment where people may not see who you are and may not water you, but you always gotta remember, if you gotta get your homemade sprinkles and put it on a timer so you are watered, so you can continue to grow, you may have to do that, because sometimes people may not water you, and we have to continue to help ourselves grow.
No, that's really cool. Like, when you know that whole watering the seed process is very metaphorical. Like, that's like, what would be some of them things that, you know, you think would be the water, you know, and you know, 2024 and beyond, so that people could kind of
taking time for yourself, exercising, eating well, crying, laughter, and
education, I would say.
Absolutely, being free.
Information, you know, putting yourself, and, you know, just setting a plan. You know, I like what you said, setting a timer, you know, like setting, you know, your success, really planning this plan and, you know, executing the plan. You know, I think that's our job and obligations and responsibilities as, you know, being a part of this big cosmos of a global world we in, just to, you know, plan our success, man.
And it's a beautiful thing if you really dive into it and allow it to be what it is, and not think too much. You know, because sometimes we think too much, and sometimes when we think too much, we want to see things in a different way and not allow it to be what it is. But if we, you know, we allow it to be what it is and let it grow, give it sunlight, water it, and be patient, and hopefully, you know, it would be what it needs to be.
Now, that's a fact. Like,
well, let me not say hopefully it will be what it needs to be.
I like that confidence. I hear you, Empress Layla. You know what I mean? It's gonna be. But now, like, you know, growing up in the desert, you know, they didn't have a lot of water. They didn't need water.
They didn't need water.
Yeah, they didn't have it. Like,
They need it.
How do we align? Like how do we be in one situation where it appears that everything we doing at that time is just not going right, and all of our intentions is just good. We got good intentions. We got the information. We doing everything right, but the water just seems not to be coming down. Things just don't seem to be in line. And like, what do we do like in them situations?
So I realized in my mind, I am a gardener. But in reality, I'm really not. So, as you said, we have to educate ourselves. So through education, I had to realize, am I a house plant or I'm an outdoor plant? An indoor plant needs certain sunlight and an outdoor plant needs certain sunlight. So we first of all have to identify who we are.
All right. That's a big one. Identify who you are, you know.
Then you'll know how to nourish yourself.
Yeah. Navigating this world that could be so crazy at times. My father said something real dope one time. He was, you know, he's like, I was going to say, you know, one of my best friends, you know, he's definitely up there in the top 3. You know, I got children now. You know, his top he's up there. And he was talking to me one day. He said, you know, this crazy world we live in. And he said, you know what? Nah, let me not say that. It ain't the world that's crazy. It's the people in the world that's crazy. And I said, wow, that really resonated with me because, you know, it's true. Like, people, you know, like they say, you are what you eat. You know, we are oftentimes products of, you know, our environments. And, you know, but I would say, you know, what don't break you is only gonna make you stronger. And, you know, the way we've been able to endure up into this beautiful moment that we all in, I think, man, that's just a testament of just our strength and our ability and endurance to overcome, man. And I just, like I said, man, I can't commend us enough from where we came from that small seed to now growing to be just like these big, great impacts in the world right now, you know, just making that difference. I would like to get into like, it's, you know, they say, you know, when you smaller, you got to kind of grow into, you know, your whole look. You know, you might be small, you might come out light as hell, and then as you get older, you might, you know, get a little darker, right? What do you think about the whole concept of growing into your greatness?
Well, it's all about growing into your greatness. It's about experience, trial and error. You cannot just come out great. No one comes out great. You have to grow into your greatness. And some people get the awakening to grow into their greatness, and unfortunately some don't. We
totally
all
agree.
have potential to be great, but some people doubt themselves in being great.
I don't totally agree with the fact that we aren't born great. I think that we are. I think that it's just sometimes we, you know,
say that one more time, please.
You said that we're not born great. I think that we all are born with this level of greatness. You know, I think that we often are guided or led off of the track of greatness at times because of the different circumstances we experience in this process of growth. That's my opinion with it. I mean, when you're a child, when you're a baby, I don't know how many children fall off the bed when they're younger.
I'm not quite sure. I didn't say if we are not all born great or if we don't see our greatness, but I can't recall right now. But if that's what I said, that's not.
I don't know how many children actually fell off a bed I think I probably did because you know I was an explorer. I think I was. My pops told me it was times where he had to put clothes like clothing under my crib because like next to it because I climb out. I climb out of the crib and sometimes, you know, me being a baby, I fall head first. Thank God I ain't get no brain trauma, but you know, just when you're a kid, you just got this level, or a child, you got this level of fearlessness. Like, you don't really, you know, you're not scared of the fall. You just, your mind is set to what you want to be. You know, you got these big dreams and, you know, just admirations and things that you would like to do. Things, you know, you got that dream. You got that dream that could amount to a great awakening. But as you get older, you start getting all tense. Now you like, I ain't climbing out that crib. I ain't trying to bust my ass, you know. You know, but you know, with that childish heart, I think that's a really big process of like actually growing into this greatness and, you know, making this difference of keeping that fearlessness, you know, keep that dream alive, keep that hope alive so that, you know, you could make these big impacts in the world, man. It's really the bravest ones that stand out and make this difference out here. I think that the children is like my biggest inspiration, just looking at them, and one of the reasons why this podcast exists, because it's just so much potential in them little seeds. You know, it's like no telling what it could be, and that's on many different cultural levels. You know, that's not a black, white, Asian, European. You know, that's you know, Latin. That's everybody in the world. Like, we all have this seed inside of us that just desires to be this full grown tree. And the good thing about a tree is there's so many different ones, right? You got apple trees, right?
Fig trees.
And plants, period.
Pines.
Yeah, plants, period, yeah. All kinds. Got the weed trees.
One of my favorite trees
the
are
weed plants.
whipping willows. It's one of my favorite trees.
Whipping willow. I'm trying to picture that in my. I can't see it.
It's
What
like
is?
an awesome big tree, and like the branches like fall over it. But I like the braided whipping willows. They have like a strong branch that comes within them that's like amazing. That was one of those on my property. I'm still praying for it, so maybe it'll happen one day.
That sounds interesting.
Beautiful tree, braided whipping willows. They have many of them, like really in Florida, because it's probably like a real. The soil probably has to be really saturated and watered. So I've only seen many like in Florida.
I love Florida too, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to Florida, man.
Shout out to Florida.
Shout out to Florida. Yeah, I was thinking about you know, Daytona Beach and all that. You know,
We have a couple in Brooklyn too, in Prospect Park. But, like I've
shout out to Prospect Park.
Prospect Park, Brooklyn. But I've seen like, you know, just like walking in nature. I've seen them like in like down the street in Florida somewhere, like Coconut Grove or something like that.
Okay. Shout out to Brooklyn, man. We still growing trees out here, huh?
Yeah, we have a couple in the park.
Don't. You know, I've heard a statement that you know, trees go nowhere. You know, when they fully grown and planted, and they roots is planted on the right soil, and they deep in there. They don't really move. They can't be moved by the troubled waters. And it said that they go nowhere, but everywhere.
I have a fun fact for you.
They go nowhere, but everywhere. Trees go nowhere, but everywhere through the seeds they produce. So the tree could be all the way in South Africa, and they could import some of them seeds, anywhere in the world, and them seeds could travel the world from that one place, and I think
have
that's
a
a
fun
beautiful
fact for you.
thing.
And anyone could research this if they want to. If you're having a bad day, like you're feeling down and in the dumps, and your world is just you don't know what's going on, you can go anywhere in the woods, anywhere in the park, and find a tree and hug it. Just release it all in the tree, and that's re-energizing yourself. That's how powerful a tree trunk is in a tree. Any tree.
Those are you one of them tree huggers.
It's just a fun fact. You can really look into it if you really want to. If you're having a bad day and you're feeling horrible and terrible and
You just hug the tree and it all get better.
I won't say get better immediately. May get better in a few hours, maybe a day or two, but something will change.
Shout out to the trees of the world.
Tree huggers, go hug a tree.
Nah, cause it was funny when I watched the trees. They incorporated them in Disney, and the one of the classics, Pocahontas. One of her great ancestors was a tree, so she was definitely talking to a tree. So I guess you can learn a lot just from that whole process of growth and how it grows, man. We can learn a lot, and that's what this podcast is here to do. It's here to teach a lot. We here to grow, and I would say that one of the statements that really resonated with my life was, a flower is simply beautiful until you break it down, until you break it all down. Now that's big because everybody see the flowers and the glory, and people get these flowers on Valentine's Day, birthdays, and holidays. But that thing went through a whole lot of dirt before it, gained that appearance and aura of beauty. So it's a process. These little seeds start from a deep place. Sometimes we gotta go through the dirt, to grow and sprout to be, that beautiful flower that brings that beauty and positivity and impact to this world. So we encourage all of you guys to just continue to go through the process, know who you are, and know that, we are here to make this difference and this change. And our voices is very important and strong. So popular expressions, that's what we do. We make these voices popular. We want to get it out here to the world so that we can just be a greater people moving forward. And we're going to do our parts to deliver our end. We encourage everyone tapped in right now to continue to rock with us. And do us a favor. Like, subscribe right now, and comment so that we can interact with our people. We definitely here for it all, and we look forward to the journey that we're gonna take with you all, and we sure that you're gonna get so much goodness and greatness out of this broadcast, and we look forward to the next show. I'm Kazerny Bussy.
As Kazerny Bussy just said, I want to say shout out to the birthday flowers, to the just because flowers, and to all the flowers we get just because, as he said. I want to challenge everyone to start a windowsill garden in 2024. Try to grow anything you want. Use some soil. Just get some basic soil and put a seed in it, like he said, and watch something grow in it. So, as Kazerny Bussy said, subscribe, like to this podcast, and hopefully we'll continue. No, let me not say the word hopefully. We will continue to bring you good topics and subjects to help you grow in the upcoming years. And get yourself some soil and put a seed in it.
Oh yeah, 2024 our year. She ain't let me end it the first time. Let me try it again. Kazerny Bussy.
Empress Layla.
We out. Popular Expressions.
Voice your vision, showcase your spirit.